All right, so I've stuck around to give you a couple quick extra Global Mapper mobile tips. Um, and I will talk about a couple things. I'll talk a little bit about the differences between the free version that anyone can download and what features the pro subscription adds, and specifically show you a couple pro features that make setting up new projects easier and really like streamlines the process of setting up new projects. So I'll jump right into it. The free Global Mapper mobile app, as we just mentioned, allows you to import data for viewing and some editing, lets you use your device's built-in GPS receiver, and a few other just basic tools for creating picture points, things like that. I won't get into everything here. You can download it and try it out yourself. And then the Pro subscription adds a lot more of the advanced functionalities. So being able to connect to an external GNSS device, like we mentioned before, receiving RTK corrections. There's also a few terrain analysis tools in there and other creation methods and file format support. But there's also several other lesser known features that the Pro subscription for Global Mapper mobile adds that could make it worth your while to upgrade to the Pro subscription. So the features I'm going to show you really help with the new project setup. Before, in the previous presentation, Uning and I showed setting up a project in Global Mapper Desktop, and that is helpful, especially like the first time you set up a particular type of project. It's really helpful to do it in the desktop software so that you have those feature templates. But once you've done that, you don't necessarily have to set everything up in the desktop software. And there's probably going to be times where you don't want to have to make that trip back to the office or open up a laptop just to get prepared for going to your next data collection site. So I'll take you through some features that help setting up a new project. So these are the features, and we'll go kind of one by one through them. I have another video that takes us through. So starting in Global Mapper Mobile, you always have to have some package file ready to edit. So you'll have to have something, maybe a previous package file or a template type of package file that you can work with to get the new one started, and then you'll be able to save it as a copy specific to the next site area that you're planning to collect data in. So I just loaded up something very basic, a little county map of Maine, and that's just going to be my starting off point. From here, I can customize this to whatever site I'm planning to be recording at. So the first thing I'm going to do is search for address. So did you know you can actually use the same geocoding address search that is available in Global Mapper Desktop in Global Mapper Mobile? We can be very specific with a street address, and again, this worldwide street address support, or we can be more general depending on your use case. I'm just going to put in a random address for my sort of test site that I'm setting up, and I get the coordinates and can create a point at that address. So this I'm going to save in my new package file and use that as a reference for the next step. I'll also mention at this point that you could also change projection within the app. There's a variety of supported projections in there, such as UTM zones or state plane zones that you could change if needed. So if you're going into a different state plane zone, you can just change that projection within the app. Next, so I've got a point here, sort of reference point. Now I want to add an online data layer. So this could be some imagery, and that's what I'm going to do in this case. Is again kind of similar to the last project, just bring in some imagery so I have a little bit of a base map and get familiar with the area. The free version of Global Mapper Mobile only has OpenStreetMap data, but the Pro version unlocks a whole bunch of other features, other services that are built in, which I think we're back here. This is just a list of folders. A lot of them may be familiar to you if you use Global Mapper Desktop. And you also have the ability to add custom ones. So if you have links to particular services, like a particular web map service, you can add that here as well, and that's a pro feature. So for example, I'm just going to add some imagery and just get my current view bounds. I've kind of already adjusted my zoom level on the screen, and this will stream that data into the app. So, okay, that's great. We streamed some data in, but what about going offline? What about, if you are going out in the field and you don't want to have to keep streaming this data, you can actually save this to a file local on your mobile device. This is another pro feature. So you can save it for offline use. So I will just add a name for it, and that will download this imagery, and so that it will be available for offline use. Now I can turn off the layer that's streaming, so I don't have to keep streaming, and I can actually bring in the downloaded one. It's actually within the online sources, and there's a folder now that says saved sources, and that has any of my saved sources. So I called this one Site 2 imagery, and I'll select that, click OK, and we have the downloaded imagery. All right, one more tip for you guys, and that is that we can actually load layers from other files on the device. So again, if you have previously set up feature templates and you want to be able to use them at this location with this file, you can add a layer from another file. So for example, I've got a project, a little package file in here that had the feature templates that Uning and I used previously. And so I can bring that into here, and you can see there's those same feature templates that I had. So you could have those saved somewhere on your device, saved in a different GMMP, and then you can just bring them into another GMMP. And then you can start using them for collecting data. You can then save this package file as a new file on the device, so you have a separate file for your new project and your new project location. So all of that just within the app, not needing to even go into the desktop software. So hopefully saving you some time in certain situations. So again, highly encourage you to download the free app and try it out, and contact us if you have any questions.